What's up, guys? Back with another video, and today it's finally time. We're going to be putting on the Maxton design front lip on the 2008 Audi S5. So before we get started, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, and we'll get right into it. All right, guys, so here is the Maxton design front lip. I think it was about 200 bucks, something like that. So I ordered it a little while ago and it finally got here. I'm going to be throwing this on. It does have a protective film on it, so it's not all scratched up and scraped up. That's just a little film that they use to ship it. So once we get the proper fitment and get the holes drilled and everything, we'll go ahead and get that peeled off of there. So that way we can get the fitment permanent without it moving and doing all that kind of fun stuff. So when we get on highway speeds or whatever it may be, we don't have any issues. So first things first, got to go ahead and get the bumper off. So we'll go ahead and get the car pulled out into the driveway. So here's a before shot of what the car is looking like before we get the front lip put on there. This is a gloss black front lip, like you could see. So this should really give it a, that real aggressive kind of track look. So it's not going to provide like a crazy amount of downforce or anything track oriented. This is really just a visual mod. So that's how she's looking already. She looks crazy. Looks super aggressive, super mean, especially with that, the black roof wrap there and the blacked out front end. But without further ado, let me go ahead and get this front bumper off of here so that way we can get the front lip thrown on there. In order to gain access to the two screws back here that are holding on the bumper, you got to take out these screws holding in the fender liner here. So these are going to be T20s. And there is going to be two of those. So now we can go ahead and pull this fender liner back. All right, and then the two bolts holding on the bumper are going to be 210s, so we'll go ahead and get those loosened up. There's one. So now we've got to take off the radiator cover. Should also be a T20. Or a T25, but T20 should work. We need T25 for that one. Just gotta loosen these clips here and pull back. It should come right off. There's gonna be two screws down in here. I think I actually messed mine up, so I may be able to pull them out. Nope. Those are super long screws. All right, got those two screws out. So now we're just gonna hop inside the car, turn the wheel the other way so that way we can access the screws on the other side, and then we'll get the bumper pulled off, and then we'll start fitting up the front lip. That way we can kind of see how we're gonna go about getting it mounted. So it's gonna be the same thing on this side. You'll have two fender liner screws, which I don't have. Then you'll have those two 10mm bolts holding in the bumper. So gonna go ahead and get those removed. All right, got two more bolts there, so that should be the last thing holding the bumper on. So we'll go ahead and move the camera around so you can see everything, and then we'll carefully get this thing pulled off. So to start, you just gotta kind of pull the bumper out here from the side. It should just be clipped in there. I almost forgot to remove the bolts up underneath the bumper holding it in. So I think there's about maybe 4 or 5 of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those loosened up and taken off. All right, with those loose, we should be able to get the bumper pulled off now. And then before pulling it completely off, you'll want to disconnect your fog lights. That way you don't snag on them once the bumper comes fully off. You should just be able to twist it to the left and pull back and it'll come right out. All right, sweet, now bumper is off. So with the bumper off, I'm just using the box that the front lip actually came in to set the bumper on so we don't scrape it up or anything and mess up the sides. So, and then now we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get this lined up and measure it out. That way we can get it mounted. And with the bumper sitting up like that, it actually lines up perfectly on there. So as you can see, it's sitting up there perfectly where it needs to go. So now we just gotta drill some holes in there and get the hardware mounted so we can pull off that protective coat. Right now I'm just kind of marking where I need to drill, so you probably won't be able to see it, but right here I made a little X with this, just a sharp tool. I'm gonna drill right here and right here, so one screw on each side to hold it in for now, just so I can hold the place that I want it, and then I'll go ahead and drill the rest of the spots. But I just want to get it where I need it and then worry about the rest of the screws later. So right now I've marked this one, just got to mark this one, and then I will go ahead and drill the holes and we'll go from there. Got both sides marked, so now we just need a 6mm drill bit. We'll drill the hole and then we'll get the hardware put in there. Now we have a 6mm drill bit, or 15/64 in inches if you don't have a metric tool set. So we'll go ahead and start drilling, and hopefully we can get this thing lined up pretty good. All right, so we got one hole drilled. The next one drilled. Now I've got a 10mm socket and a little hex bit here. I'm just gonna tighten this down. Now that we have those two holes drilled, we're gonna go ahead and pull off this plastic film. That way we don't have to worry about it anymore. We verified that it fits. Yeah, that finish looks much, much better. That's what it's looking like with the protective coating off of there. It looks much better. Nice gloss black. So that's definitely what we were looking for. So I'll go ahead and get it mounted back on there and get the rest of these holes drilled. I've decided that I'm going to use 10 of the bolts on the sides, and then we're going to use 4 in the middle. That should be plenty to keep this thing on the car. So we'll go ahead and start marking off the rest of the points where we need to drill. For the middle of the bumper, it's basically already segmented into 4 sections from the factory. So it's got 1, 2, and 3 little pillars there to separate it. So I went ahead and just used each one of these holes to kind of line up with where I'm going to put that screw. So I've got a screw there, screw there, screw there, and a screw there, and then I've just evenly spaced out the screws on the side. So we'll go ahead and get this finished up and show you what she's looking like. Okay, so we've got the middle holes drilled and bolted in. So now we've just got to bolt up the outside and we should be pretty much done. So go ahead and get this knocked out. All right, so with this screw, I drilled it a little bit too close to one of the walls inside of the bumper, so I'm not actually able to get the nut on the other side. So I'm gonna re-drill it just literally right next to this hole, and that should resolve the issue. But yeah, just beware if you're doing this yourself. When you're screwing in like the very outside screw, be careful of that. We are about 2/3 of the way done, so we literally just have to drill the passenger side of the bumper and get it bolted up, and then we are finally done. So far, just from looking at it, the way it's sitting, it looks great, so I'm super excited for this one. Finally finished her up, and that is what it's looking like before it gets put back on the car. Kind of in the shade, so I don't know how well you can actually see that, but yeah, looks pretty good to me. Go ahead and get her thrown back on the car. So this is what the lip is looking like sitting upright. Still not back on the car, but just wanted to give you a little sneak peek. I think it looks pretty cool. When putting the bumper back on, definitely don't forget to put your fog lights back on or screw them back in, and on the sides, don't forget you'll have to pull on it pretty hard, but you got to pull it around the side of here and snap it back in. So yeah, I believe that's the only couple little tricky things that you got to remember. But other than that, we'll get these screws put back in here so the bumper doesn't go flying off, and then we'll go ahead and close the hood down, and then I'll give you a little walk around and show you what she's looking like fully done now. So finally got her all finished up, got the bumper put back on, tightened back down. So I'll go ahead and give you that final walk around. As you can see, it looks so aggressive. Give you the little front profile look. That's how she's looking from the side. Yeah, man, I'm definitely happy with it. I love the way it looks. It's got a nice shape. It kind of follows the already pretty aggressive line of the front bumper. Definitely ties the whole look of the car together really nicely, considering we've got like a nice white and black theme going on everywhere. She is a little dirty, so once we give her a good wash, she should be looking absolutely outstanding. But other than that, I think the car looks great. Definitely remember to stay tuned. I've got a lot of stuff coming for you guys, so if there's anything you guys want to see on the channel, definitely be sure to drop it below, and I'll make it happen. Whether you want to see some of the Oklahoma car meets, or some races, whatever you want to see, just drop it in the comments and we'll make it happen. With that being said, that's all I got for you today. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one.